Are my Voyager fans in the house? Oh, we love Voyager. We love that show. Now, I could have hosted it. I wanted to host it. But what the heck, I got a guy that's maybe even a better host than me. And that's Mr. Garrett Wong. Let's welcome Garrett Wong!
Welcome everyone. Here we are, 15 years later. So pat yourself on the back, because without you guys, there would be no Star Trek. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm really happy. I was backstage before my panel and I said to Adam, Adam, you've moderated pretty much everything since the beginning of time, so is there any way I could moderate the Voyager panel? And he said, okay. So that's why I'm here. But I want you guys to make sure that you restrict your questions to the 4 individuals coming out. Today I'm just wearing the moderator hat since I already had my panel on Friday. So thank you for that. And without further ado, let's bring them out one by one. Let's start with ladies first with Miss Jeri Ryan. Mr. Robbie McNeill. How about Mr. Robert Beltran, Chakotay.
Sorry, I wasn't like totally ignoring you and like doing, you know, texting, but I went to a Facebook Live at some point, so are you guys okay with that?
What were you saying backstage, Jeri, when you're looking at that clip? You said that...
Oh, the little date clip. I was just watching it, and I don't remember that it was quite a boob sling design.
Yeah, I directed that episode, so I was in charge of that outfit, and you're welcome. You requested a boob sling? Oh, I do. I always request a boob sling.
All right.
Apparently, this is going to be a hashtag boob sling day. That's the matter. Nobody showed up today. Look at that.
How we roll.
Oh my.
Wow, look at that crowd. Holy.
I gotta do this.
You guys are going to be on camera in a second.
Is that all right? If I can figure out how to do this, because it's been a while.
Facebook living.
Wow, that's not good lighting.
Go.
That's unfortunate lighting. Look at that. All right.
All right.
Here we go.
Does it happen?
All right. 3, 2, 1.
2, 1, and...
We're on Facebook Live. That's Robert Beltran. Very far away. That's Bob Picardo. There's Goober. And this way, I'm supposed to the camera around. That's everyone!
Hello, everyone.
So anyway, we're on stage, so you can hang out with us for a few minutes.
Can you explain?
I direct things.
I'm passing it off!
Jeri,
No.
just to
Wide shot.
Nice.
Can you tell them where Goober came from? That is.
Where did it come from?
Well,
I just always
you
called
just
you
started
Goober.
calling me Goober.
It's just him. He's Goober.
But it's
He
a term
always
of
was.
it's a term of endearment. But one day
Yeah.
I
It came from the Andy Griffith Show because you look like Gomer Pyle.
Do you remember that day I walked into the hair trailer and you were talking with Robert Beltran and you were like, anyway, Goober, and I heard that I go, doesn't matter. But I thought I was Goober. Do you remember that?
Oh, there was a whole thing. I remember
Got a
that.
whole thing, and you said, yeah, it's okay. You're Goober number 1. Robert Beltran is Goober number 2. So that's what you
That's right. Or Gooby.
Or Gooby.
Yeah, affectionate.
All right, so we also have questions set up here. So I want to ask you guys to.
I just want to thank Jeri for
What?
giving me an activity to do because I really get uncomfortable when I don't know what to do up here. So I have the FaceTime.
You can do stuff.
I have something.
Don't forget the people at the other end of the couch.
There we go.
All right, so one question per person, please, and we'll start with this one over here. Yes, sir.
All right, hi guys. Bob Picardo, I heard that you did a Star Trek parody musical at Caltech earlier this year. I was wondering if you could tell everyone how that experience went for you.
Well, first of all, in full disclosure, I believe you played Mr. Sulu in the production.
That's right.
Did you have a plant, Bob? Did you plant?
Apparently I did.
Yeah.
Caltech is if you guys, you must know what Caltech is, if only because you watch the show. What's the show set in Caltech?
Voyager?
Big Bang
No,
Theory.
with Jim Parsons.
Big Bang Theory?
Big Bang Theory. Caltech has a theater department, which I didn't know about. They created an original musical comedy about Star Trek called Boldly Go. And to help them at their fundraiser, I was in the performance 2 times playing the Admiral. But these people were to see a bunch of 4th year theoretical physics majors singing and dancing in Star Trek. They were amazing, and there's video on the internet. So you can look up Robert Picardo and Boldly Go, and you can, but anyway, it was a fundraiser for theater at Caltech because the idea is that if a scientist performs on stage and gets used to speaking in front of people, that they'll be better communicators about what they do, and they won't be so damn difficult to understand.
Thank you for that. All right, over here.
Hi. I just wanted to say, as much as I love all of you guys, this one's just for Jeri. Hey, Jeri.
Surprise.
I just wanted to say that, by and large, I always felt that 7 of 9 had the best character development over the course of the show. And growing up as a person with high-functioning autism, I always saw a lot of very unique parallels there because we're very much the same. People who are very much trying to learn how to be human, so to speak. And I also just wanted to introduce you to my mother, who has been my Janeway, teaching me and guiding me through my lessons in humanity. No offense, Robert. You're great too. Thank you so much for bringing so much humanity to such a unique character.
Oh, thank you very much.
That was so sweet.
Oh, you're
I like that question.
This is Patrick James Tiberius Kirk.
Oh, wow. There we are.
Both Star Trek captains.
No, thank you. That is very, 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 very sweet, and I appreciate that so much. And I've actually heard from a lot of, well, adults now on the autism spectrum, and my son has Asperger's actually. And I've heard from a lot of them that they relate to 7, and that they felt a sort of common bond with her and her struggles, and watching her try to figure out the social mores and what accepted behavior is and things like that. So I appreciate it. I love that that character gave so many people something to hold on to.
Jonathan tried
to buy
his.
Hello.
Hi.
Is spite of my accent, I'm actually living in Los Angeles right now, and my question is for Robert Beltran. I'm so excited about Marielle in the Desert, and I know you're directing it, and I wanted to ask you if you could talk a little bit about it and what you like best about directing as opposed to acting.
Mariella in the Desert?
Yeah.
Yes, that's a play that I'll be directing in October, and it's a wonderful play by a lady named Karen Zacharias, and it's a beautiful play, 5 to 6 characters, and I don't want to give too much away, but it's when you're in LA, check it out, October, November, Mariella in the Desert. Come and see it. It's a fairly new play, and I think it's going to be an American classic.
Where is it at?
It's at a place called Casa 0101. And it's a beautiful theater, beautiful complex they have there in Boyle Heights. And so come on by. It's a professional cast, and should be great. Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
All right, we'll go over here, please.
Okay. Hi, I'm Angelo once again. Remember me, Jeri? Yes, of course. Before I get to my question, I have something to say from my heart, for me, personally. So I'll keep it short. I want to make sure I don't want to cry before I. But missing out on last year was the hardest thing I've ever done as a Star Trek fan. But in the end, it'll all be worth it for the better. Okay? Here's this. Jeri, before I ask you my question, there is something I really want to say from the bottom of my heart. I officially crown you my queen of my Star Trek universe now and for all time. Please. And here's my question for you. What is the most challenging thing you have done during your 4 years on Star Trek Voyager during your entire series?
The most challenging thing I had to do? The most challenging thing I had to do was keep a straight face with any of these bozos. Oh my God. Like, they don't really have to try after a certain point. I would just look at them and crack up. So yeah, that was definitely the hardest thing, is trying to play a character who didn't smile and laugh and cackle like I do. Because yeah, these guys are crazy.
Thank
Good
you.
way, you know, mostly.
There's a lot of like fart jokes and, you know, bathroom humor,
And
really
lots of humor, really
sophisticated
big,
stuff. Yeah. Very mature. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see you. I'll see you later. Thank you.
Aw, thank you.
I think Queen 7 has a nice ring to it.
I'll go with it.
Okay.
I'll
Queen
go with it. I
7.
like it.
It is Game of Thrones in this cast.
It is,
though,
it is.
So it's going down.
Next question over here, please.
Hello. First of all,
Winter is coming.
I love you all. And Jeri, Ryan, you are one of 2, possibly 3 people my mom actually knows from the show.
Yes.
What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
The other,
Who are the other 2? I want to know who else.
the other one is Jennifer Lean, and the other one might be possibly you, Garrett.
Oh, possibly me. I feel I'm like an alternate. I'm so happy. Is your mother here? Is she here right now?
She is not a fan, but she will watch the show with me.
Oh. What's your question?
What is your favorite alien species and why?
All of us?
Yes, please.
Borg!
Come on!
I like how you're going to
Move that probably.
Nice.
You want to sit over here?
I thought the Vidians were pretty badass. Yeah. I like the Vidians. You know, they were really edgy. Like a lot of, I was talking to somebody about this. One thing that I thought was really fun, the Vidians were body harvesters early on. The one thing that I loved about the Delta Quadrant and our show is it allowed us to open up the show to all kinds of new alien species, and I thought that our show, when Voyager came out, was really pushing some boundaries in terms of like the kinds of aliens. They were just edgier and darker often than some of the ones that had been deeply entrenched in the mythology. So I love the Vidians. They were badass.
Chakotay?
Well, I liked the ones where you couldn't tell where they were from because one guy spoke like this, and you must get out of our airspace immediately. And then his compatriots said, yeah, you need to get out of here. You guys gotta go. I never could figure out where they were from. They were my favorite.
So the UK actor and the New York actor playing the two same actors.
What are you doing in our space? Yeah, what are you doing here?
My favorite alien was in the episode Night. He looked like a giant Tootsie Roll. We called him the Captain's Log. I felt real compassion for that actor. My least favorite were the Kazon, because they were so stupid they couldn't find the water cooler. Also, on the episode Someone to Watch Over Me, we had an alien who looked exactly like Bozo the Clown. It was embarrassing. He looked like a clown. You know, it's hard. Let's give it up for Mike Westmore. You know, we called our guest stars the Forehead of the Week. Every week he had to come up with a new alien forehead, right? Because he can only cover up so much of human features. So he's a genius, and I mean, really, if he had one,
a nice man,
such a nice man, and I will forgive him the Bozo the Clown alien.
All right, we'll take it over here. Yes.
First of all, thank you all for coming. I'm a huge Voyager fan. Love it. Well, my question is the episode Human Error, one of my favorites, where Chakotay and Seven are cooking dinner together. I really love that scene. And my question is, do either one of you like to cook in real life?
Yes, I love to cook. I've always been a big foodie, and I'm married to a chef, so, you know.
You're married to a chef? Okay.
I am.
Okay.
Can you hear my wife laughing? And my daughter. I cook water really well. I call it boiled water. Maybe some of you have tried that. I'm not a really good cook, no.
Does ordering an appetizer count as cooking?
But it was a great scene with Jeri. I really enjoyed that. Cutting carrots and...
Right.
Next question over
Thank
here.
you very much.
Well, given there are so many Star Trek series now, 5 of them, what viewing order do you recommend?
Wait, what are all 5? You got to catch me up. I know that there's a lot of kind of internet, kind of fan-driven alternative choice.
No, he just said TOS, TNG, DS9, Voyager.
Oh, you mean the reruns? Oh, I thought you said shooting now, filming. I was like, wow.
That's impressive.
Why aren't I working more?
Well, you want to watch Voyager first.
I'm going to watch Voyager over and over and over again. Because I get residuals every time you watch it.
Agreed?
Keep going.
After Voyager several times through, then you want to probably catch, the original series once.
Then go back to Voyager.
Then go back to Voyager, and then maybe a couple of Next Generations, I think.
Yeah,
I think you should watch Voyager season 1, season 4, go back to 2, do 7, then 6, and that's all. No more Star Trek. That's all you need.
And then lock yourself in a bunker and watch Deep Space Nine. Kidding.
Thanks for that question. Let's go over here. Yes, please.
Hello, sorry for the microphone here. Well, first of all, I want to thank you, all of you, for Voyager. I really liked it. You were all great.
You're welcome.
My question is for Robert Picardo. In the last episode, Endgame, your character, the Doctor, finally chose a name, which happens to be Joe. I was wondering, did you have any input from that name? And if not, what would be the name you would have chosen for the Doctor?
Well, I had no input with Joe. I thought it was kind of funny personally because every male in my family, other than me, is named Joe. My father, all of my uncles, my brothers, so Joe is a big family name. So I took it sort of as a personal joke, but the writers didn't know that. If I got to choose my own name, it would have been, Mr. 7 of 9, probably.
Mr. of 9.
Mr. of 9, thank you. I didn't give it, of all the ones that I went through, the doctor went through several names, I like Dr. Mozart. I think I would have kept that, because it implies my incredible, talent with music. That's on faith.
Well, Bob, it's interesting because, you talk about Mr. 7 of 9 as a joke, but the doctor's last name is Zimmerman, and Jeri Ryan's maiden name is Zimmerman, so that's kind of an interesting thing there.
And my name is Picardo. Oh. There's all sorts of cosmic significance to this meaninglessness. Thank you.
We'll go over here, please.
My question's for Robbie McNeill.
What?
He's awake. He's awake.
I was in a trance, imagining Mr. of 9. Yes.
You've done a lot of directing, as has Roxanne, and the two of you did a lot of scenes together. I was wondering if both of you kind of spurred one another to begin directing, and whether or not you compared notes over the years.
It's ironic that we played husband and wife on the show, and our careers have kind of been very similar. But to be honest, we didn't talk about directing a lot when we were shooting. She was very methodical about her preparation. She really took it seriously, and we would talk about our characters in the scenes. But we didn't talk a lot about directing. But I really admire what she's doing. She's doing a lot of really interesting shows and is very talented and always in demand. I produce now as well. I've been producing the last 10 years or so. So I often try to get Roxanne to come do my shows that I'm working on, and she's never available. She's always booked. But I will say, I just got Jonathan Frakes to commit to come on my show and direct in a couple months, so I'm really excited about that. That's going to happen. I produce a show called Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce. It's on Bravo. Woo! Yeah, let's drink a cocktail to that. Lots of cocktails on the show. That's the reason I say that. So Jonathan's coming to direct. What's my point? There was a point to this. I don't know. I'm going to go back in a trance now. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's go over here, please.
Greetings from New Zealand, guys. So good to see you from Kiwiland. My question is to Robbie and Robert. I hope I've got my Robs right there.
Robbie here.
Hey, Robbie. Did Kate talk to you about your experiences in Auckland Penal Colony before she went on Orange is the New Black?
Well, I noticed you have your prisoner's uniform on right now from the penal colony, it looks like.
Well, yeah, we are from New Zealand,
Yeah. I actually, we've met before. I was in New Zealand a couple months ago, and your fan club all got together and put on the New Zealand penal colony outfits from the pilot of Voyager, and they all wore them, and I thought it was amazing. Yeah,
so
that's
cool.
New Zealand's claim to fame in Voyager was the penal colony.
And our other claim to fame, possibly Robert, the tattoo you had on, a lot of debate back. Yeah, you.
Tattoo.
A lot of debate back home whether it is a Maori or a Polynesian influence. Do you know anything about it at all?
Yeah, you're right. Michael Westmore purposely made it kind of a Maori design. Yeah.
Thank you.
You went through a bunch. I remember when they were testing that out. They tried a few different looks
first
on
one
that.
was
I remember that.
A tattoo that was like this. And I said, am I playing a burned victim? And then they slowly whittled it down to about what we ended up with. It was about half a day doing these experimental tattoos.
I remember that. It was really interesting. And you're right, it was very Maori influenced. Where'd he go? Oh my God.
Went back to New Zealand.
He just moved out of here.
He didn't ask
It's
about
real. The transporter works.
But Robert,
You did not ask about when the doctor was imprisoned in 7 of 9's body. I have to tell you, if you're going to be in prison, it's not a bad place.
Was Jeri hilarious in that? You know, the
producers actually called her and said, "Do you want to make yourself that unattractive?" But she was doing me. She was making fun of my expressions. And
You have to have a person to know
All of us did you.
to copy. He's a perfect one to do.
can you do your impersonation of the doctor for everybody?
I asked for this.
Oh, God.
Well, I gotta say one thing while you think about that. I directed that episode that where you were downloading. Yeah, and I loved, and I think I'm gonna give you credit, Bob. I think this was your suggestion, and we did this. Is Bob actually read all the lines, and we videotaped it. We went in your trailer, and you read the lines that Jeri would have to do in the episode. Videotaped you doing it as the doctor, and then we gave it to you.
No, I just went in your trailer. We videoed it.
No, we did it. So you may not have ever watched it.
Maybe I kept that for myself.
Had you go read the script?
I'm gonna give myself credit for thinking of a
You were
much more extravagant approach.
And the CGI that you put into that video was
Clearly you never watched it,
Special
Jeri, but we did videotape my performance, and somehow you managed to do it, without watching it, I guess. We had done the same gag in Interspace,
great.
where I had to impersonate Martin Short, so we did exactly the same thing, where Martin Short did all of the scenes that I had to do impersonating him as my character, and it worked out so well, it was so helpful to me, that's what we did for Jeri, even though she ignored the tape once we made it.
painstakingly made, yes. No, but that was fun. That was a lot of fun. But I didn't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
do it. Everybody has an impression of me. Go ahead.
She did it. It was quick.
Short and sweet. You snooze, you lose. I'm sorry, baby.
All right, Robert. Come on, Robert.
Get one go.
All right,
Garrett, you
Bob.
because I don't have the line.
You don't want to do it?
I need-
Okay, you want me to do it first? Okay, all right.
They're gonna do impersonations.
Of each other?
You want to do Bob? Which one?
I don't do impersonations.
All right, I'll do Bob then. Ready? Here we go. You want to videotape this? Okay. All right. Okay, be off to the side. I'm going to turn and do. Okay, ready?
Anybody can stargaze on the bridge, but the real action happens in sick bay.
Robert, what are you doing?
Well, Garrett used to do his voice all the time. But one day it clicked, and we were on the bridge, and I because he'd never done his face before, so I said, Garrett, this you can now add to your voice, and I went like this. And Garrett said, "Oh, that's it."
I could do an impersonation. So Garrett used to always get the giggles on the set.
God.
And he would try to stifle his laugh. And so we would, Robert does a great impersonation of Garrett's laugh, but I'll begin it and it'll probably be infectious and we'll all start laughing like Garrett. But it was something like that. Garrett would get the giggles. Get the giggles. Go. Garrett would get the giggles and he'd start, it was like a bumblebee attack.
And then you would go home and imitating for your kids to entertain them. You do that too.
Yeah,
My daughter wanted to give Jeri a hug. They had a nice time.
Aww. This is Robert Beltran's daughter.
Well, yeah, Garrett really used to laugh like that. He'd go. And so when I brought it up to him, he was horrified. He said, "I sound like that?" I said, "Yeah, you sound like this." He changed his laugh completely, right?
I did. I changed it to ho ho ho.
And then I pointed out how he used to walk.
Oh, do my walk, yeah. I used to walk leaning forward,
Garrett,
and it would do this.
like this. Garrett, you want it on the set? He changed his walk completely.
Exactly. It looks a little bit more like this after. So it started like this. And then, because of Beltran, now it's more like, yeah.
But Garrett, whenever we had a scene on the bridge where something dire was about to happen, Garrett was also the master of what I call the escalator line reading, which goes like this. Captain, I'm detecting radiation on deck 7. You know, where it's like...
Captain, I'm detecting 7, 8, 75, 2 million. Captain, 75 million ships approaching.
I just figured out Garrett should work at an auction house. Captain, do I hear 7? I have 7. Do I hear 8? Do I hear 8?
I just say, these guys ribbed me incessantly. There was a guest star who I really, really liked. Like, I was going to try to ask her out and everything. And
yeah, you really liked her. You really liked her.
She said one line, which was, her acting was fine. It was okay until that one line. It was horrible. She just did this. She goes, the Aquaterians would never do that. And we're like, oh my God. And everyone saw that.
She wasn't that good.
Hey man, she was okay until that line, really. I'm telling you. But everyone
Garrett,
that
she was horrible. Garrett, that's not a human gesture. That's an impression of a Vegematic. That slices, dices, minces.
And incidentally, I don't think I was around for that actual episode, but I know that line and that gesture so well because these guys did it all the time for the 4 years I was there.
And Robbie, I
That.
just want to bring up when you guys remember this. Sling Blade, the movie Sling Blade came out. Robbie McNeill was the first one to see the movie. He comes back and he cannot stop doing the voice of the lead character, which is. But he would sit there, he would look at Chakotay, he goes, you look real good in your spacesuit. So he kind of mixed Sling Blade with Deliverance, kind of. It's a very interesting combo.
I'll put you in mayonnaise.
Some people call it a Kaiser blade. I call it a Sling blade.
I remember that. Yeah, that was good. Who was the politician you used to do? Who was that?
Who?
Did a politician?
Nobody remembers Bob Dole.
Bob Dole.
God, he's actually sounding like a. Never mind. Well, Bob Dole was always like, I'm Bob Dole. Yeah, sure. The GDP's up 4%. Never been better. Crime's down, way down. Never been lower. That's not good enough for Bob Dole.
I want to hear, Robert does a terrific, can we hear Burt Lancaster as the Star Trek captain? Can we just say engaged?
Burt Lancaster. Engaged.
All right, where did we leave off? Was it this side? Yeah? Go ahead. Woo, that was a segue. Okay.
You are so patient, by the way, all of you guys.
Now I'm nervous to ask this question of Mr. Beltran. I grew up on tribal lands and on Apache reservation, and my grandmother was Apache and Navajo. My godfather was Hopi, and I'm a big bald white guy. But after a couple seasons, the native theme started to regress from episodic to just a few lines, and I know that you have nothing to say over the writing of it, but how did you feel about that?
Well, actually, if I hadn't put in my input here and there, they would have had me in a headdress. I would be talking like this all the time, with my arms folded. And I would have been, you know, on the holodeck accosting station wagons going west. No, I mean, it was just, you know, it was a generic kind of thing. They didn't want to get too specific with it, you know.
Thank you. There would be conventions I would be at. People come up, Robert Beltran is not native. They would get mad at me for it. I'm like, he's an actor playing Native American, so please give him, yeah.
Well, you people have heard of what is called a mestizo, right? That's a mestizo is like half European, half Native American. So I have Spanish, Basque blood in me. I have Native American blood from south of the border. South of the border. We're not from the, you know, very popular Cherokee tribe. I know half of you are probably 3/4 Cherokee and another quarter Irish. But, so that's what I am. And so that's why I feel perfectly comfortable playing Native Americans, because I'm probably at least 40, 50%. There you go. And I don't own a casino. That's what makes me mad.
Let's go over here, this gentleman here. Yes, please.
I just want to thank you guys for, Voyager was my first love in all the Star Trek series. That was the first time I actually sat down and watched all of it. So I thank you for 21 plus years of inspiration. And my question is sort of like a two-parter. Throughout the 7 years, you guys were brilliant and you guys were awesome. I just wanted to know that throughout your characters as they developed in all 7 years, is there any aspect of the characters that you guys portrayed that you actually took home with you? The struggles, or as a person, or as the actor, that you took home with you?
Jeri?
I said nothing.
I took the Delta Flyer home with me a couple times. I felt guilty for years. I admit it, I took it home a few times. I had a couple joyrides. Fine, I confess. I'm kidding, I didn't, it doesn't fly.
Bob? I'll try to answer that seriously. I guess I hadn't sung in a long time, and because I ended up singing on Voyager, I started to sing after Voyager. I did like 3 or 4 musicals.
Robert?
Well, because of my Native American background, I did a lot of scalping. I had scalps all over my house.
That makes sense, Robert. I just want to claim it. Good. All right. I don't. Now after that, I don't have anything intelligent.
You want to pass?
I don't know. I don't know what I took home. I'm trying to think. I mean, I did some nursing because of working with.
You took home a whole new career. You became a director.
I took home some directing. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I took home a couple of props that Paramount doesn't know about.
What'd you take? Why don't you just tell everyone?
Could be held against me.
Okay. Gary,
no, I didn't. I don't know. I don't know what I took home.
All right. Jeri?
I took home a great friendship with all of these guys. That's really, that's beautiful.
I don't know that I took anything home, I mean, besides the outcome, from my character specifically, because I drew more from my character from my life to begin with. So I like drew on watching my son and remembering when he was a baby and having his first memories of, you know. Like,
did you take any of those outfits?
Surprising himself and things like that. So I drew from that aspect of my life to make the character. So I don't know that I so much took home different things from her. Does that make any sense? That was the most inarticulate response anywhere. But
Bob asked if you took home any 7 of 9 costuming at all.
no, I was lobbying for a bonfire. They wouldn't let me have any costumes.
I bet your husband would have liked that.
But I could.
All right, over here, please.
I just wanted to say that it's truly an honor to meet all of you, and Garrett, it's good to see you again today. Star Trek has influenced my life so much, and Voyager was the first series that I ever really got into. I used to, when I was in middle school, I'd stay up really late at night watching the old Voyager reruns on Spike TV till like 1 o'clock in the morning. And it's influenced my life so much that, in fact, just yesterday, my parents and I bought a house here in Las Vegas on Roddenberry Avenue.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wow, congratulations.
Yeah. And my question is from my father, who's like way in the back, and it's directed towards you, Mr. Picardo. I'm reading a text message here, so. Though you're not a doctor in real life, you have played one on TV for most of your career. Would you please compare and contrast your roles on the television series China Beach and Star Trek Voyager?
China Beach obviously was a very gritty drama about Vietnam. It had, and there's a certain stylization obviously to Star Trek that we accept because it's set in the future. So it's, China Beach was I guess much more, it was a naturalistic acting style versus more of a genre situation. But when you play a doctor, regardless of where it's set, whether it's set in the past, as China Beach was, or in the future, the essential drama of a medical situation, those scenes used to feel the same to me, even though Star Trek had all these magic diagnostic blinkies and whatnot. Because the essential drama of, especially the episode where I had to save Garrett's character, Harry Kim, and I had to sacrifice another member of the crew in order to save him, and then I had a kind of a breakdown after. So the essential drama of a medical emergency, if the scene is going to work, that's very much the same. The other major difference was on China Beach. In order to kiss girls, the network insisted I wear a hairpiece. Back then, you couldn't kiss a woman on TV without hair. Patrick Stewart changed all that. The other thing I learned about China Beach is if you're going to do a television series with a helicopter, I don't advise you wearing a hairpiece.
All right, guys, we're running really short on time, so sorry for those people that we couldn't get to your questions, but I want to ask each of you one thing. What's the best word of advice you've gotten in your life? Would you just throw something out there for the audience to end it up? It doesn't matter who starts.
Be grateful. That's the best advice I've got.
That's perfect.
Well, I've always liked the advice I got from a director. I think it applies to life in general, which is enjoy the process.
Picking up, I guess, what Robbie said, as I get older, I value kindness more in other people than any other quality. So, but that's, I think, part of gratitude. The other thing, I've joked many times, I've repeated a joke of a very famous, now deceased comedian, which is about acting, which is both incredibly funny, but essentially the core of what we do. George Burns once said, the most important thing about acting is honesty. If you can fake that, you've got it made.
No, I copied Robbie's
Oh, you
already,
did?
because that was actually, yeah. Actually,
Okay, you're gonna stick with that one then.
I'm sticking with it.
Garrett, I'll share it. I'm grateful that she copied me.
I'm grateful that you said it, so I
Get it?
did.
Let's hear it for our moderator.
What about you, Garrett? What was the best advice, Garrett?
Oh my gosh.
We want to hear from
my best advice is be on time and know your lines. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together.